Hi, Minesh Bakshi here, and I'm excited to be with Mike Gruley, who is a certified EOS trainer and facilitator. We'll talk a little bit about today what an integrator is and what are the traits when you're trying to hire somebody in that position using the model of DISC and motivator attributes. So, Mike, welcome.
Thanks, Manesh. Great to be with you.
Yeah, you've been doing this for a while, and you actually had your own company go through this process, correct?
We did, yes. It was fantastic.
And I'm glad, and that's why you decided to do something that you actually saw happen and bring you results. And I think that's very helpful. So you were very helpful in giving me the attributes, some of those that we are looking for. And I will start the sharing of the screen so people can actually see what we're talking about. So these are what we are going to slides we are going to cover, the integrator in EOS based on traction. Now you are familiar with integrator very well because I'm sure you understand how to implement those. So tell us what EOS is.
Well, EOS is really just a business management system helping companies who are growth oriented and are finding that they're hitting ceilings. And so it's the EOS business management systems helps them organize and integrate the 6 key components of their business so that the leadership teams will get 3 things, which is basically vision, traction, and healthy. So vision, getting a vision, where we're going, how we're going to get there. Traction, getting everyone executing with discipline and accountability, and creating good, healthy leadership teams and organizations. In a nutshell, the EOS model.
Well, that's good. Thank you. I appreciate it. So here are the 2 key roles. So do you want to quickly tell people what are the key roles?
Sure. Yeah. Starting with the visionary. The visionary, very often it's the owner, but the visionary is that person that really functions at a very high level. They love to be at 30, 40,000 feet, handle all the big decisions, work with all the biggest clients. They have a lot of big ideas. Don't like to be in the weeds. Don't like difficult conversations. Visionaries typically work a little more on emotion than they do on logic, but they have a lot of new ideas. They might have 20 new ideas every week, but usually most of them are not so hot, but 1 or 2 of them are going to be the kinds of ideas that take their company to the next stratosphere.
Exactly.
And the integrator is typically that person that, as we say, sort of beats the drum. It's the person that harmoniously integrates all the major functions of the organization. They keep the trains running on time. So try to imagine that visionary with this great idea, but the integrator actually makes it happen. Integrators love to be in the weeds. They're very results driven. They love clear processes. Their job is to remove obstacles and barriers for the team, drive accountability, and drive everyone towards that vision that the visionary and the integrator have set.
Very good point. And the simple way I put it down, a visionary comes up with ideas and the integrator evaluates and gets them implemented with focus on results. Would that be a good summary, Mike?
Way better than I could with fewer words, as usual.
No, I'm not as much in the weeds with the EOS as you are. Okay.
Yes. I must have some integrator in me. Yeah.
Here are the attributes that you and I were discussing about integrator, and do you want to just review them?
Sure. As I was mentioning there now, the integrator, yeah, just loves the detail, loves to be in the weeds, data. Usually they're high fact finders. You know, they don't make quick flash decisions. They want to see the data, evaluate it. As I mentioned, you know, love clear processes. Where there's lacking in processes, they like to see processes because that's what drives their results. And it creates clarity and focus and unity in the team. And usually integrators are great communicators. And so they're very good at managing people and helping them, you know, remove the barriers and the obstacles, getting things out of their way so that they can drive towards that vision. And so they really produce results out of leadership teams and the rest of the organization. So they're really the main focus of getting things done. And furthermore, they, as you have on your chart, which is so accurate, they're the glue that holds everything together. They are the thing that makes it all happen. As I said, good at motivating, managing people. They are a steady force. It's what everyone looks to for guidance and driving them where they need to go. And as opposed to the visionary, operates a little more heavily on the logic side than the emotion side. So as I said, if you want to go in a new direction, that sort of thing, they still have some visionary attributes. Don't get me wrong. They're not too rigid, but they'd like a little more information, and they'd like to know what the process is going to look like and consider things before we jump in, without, they don't jump out of planes without a parachute. Visionaries are more likely to jump off a cliff and build a plane on the way down.
I understand that totally.
And
let's talk about the DISC traits. Now that we have discussed the integrator's attributes, how does that translate when you are hiring somebody? When you are looking for the right person, what are the traits you are looking for? Now, before I go into detail on this one, I want to make sure people understand the relationship between the visionary and the integrator will determine a lot of these traits, because this is not going to be a cookie cutter system. If the visionary has certain attributes, then the integrator has to be complementing those attributes. Otherwise, it's very possible that they two together may not work as well. And because I've seen different types of people as being visionary, but what I'm giving here is the general sense of what an integrator looks like in the DISC and motivators analysis. So typically they're going to be high D, driven, determined, strong-willed. They take decisions. So it's not that they don't take decisions. They also have a C, which is compliance. So they're looking to be accurate, stable, cautious, systematic. They're also an S, which means steady. And they are supportive, cooperative, patient, calm, and deliberate. So they have three traits which are above the energy line being the score of about 50 plus. Now the motivators they have typically would be utilitarian. So this is the person who wants to make sure things are done, and they value results. They also value money. They value return on investment. Individualistic means they have enough of a desire to control their destiny, which helps them be better leaders and managers. And the last one is traditional, is this person understands that you don't break just to break. You want to be following some processes in place, structure, and methodology. And those are the three motivator traits I have found to be helpful when you're looking for filling up a position like this. So in a summary part of it, from the DISC traits providing the view, the D, which is dominance, S, steadiness and compliance above 50, and utilitarian, individualistic, and traditional being the motivators. I want to make sure that people understand here, the D should not be so high that they challenge the visionary every single time. The money motivation also should not be that high that they're only focused on money all the time. And if their individualistic is too high, that person may end up being the visionary and not the integrator. And that's, I think, one of the points that you have to look at, and look at the complementary relationship and make sure that the person who is the visionary and the integrator, they can actually work together. Because if they can't work together, then this is not going to be implemented properly. And I think people need to understand that, because if the D is too low for the integrator compared to the D of the person who is the visionary, the person will become a yes person. They just become like, yes, boss, yes, boss. You don't need that in an integrator. You need somebody who's going to challenge your thinking, who's going to say, okay, I know this is a great idea, but let's just make sure that this is not going to be running into roadblocks that I think might happen. And that's why we need to make sure the two people who are the visionary and the integrator, you look at both of their profiles to see if they can work side by side. Any last comments, Mike?
Well, I think you're spot on, my friend. And, it's worth mentioning, too, that some of the best companies have a distinct visionary and an integrator. And to your point, they work very well together. They complement each other. And those companies do very, very well.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. And people obviously can reach out to you if they're looking for a full-time trainer, facilitator of the EOS system. You help a lot of companies achieve those results through the training that you provide, the facilitation you provide. And I know you do a great job. So thanks again, Mike. I appreciate your time together here. And I look forward to other people who have any questions to reach out to both of us. My number is 248-866-0063. Mike, how can they get hold of you?
My phone number is 248-761-4401.
Thanks again, Mike. Have a great day.
Thanks, Manesh. Take care now.